Now for you, this could come with, you know what, I've been on the phone with 1,000 people in sales conversations. I've had all these experiences, and I can sense in the voice of somebody whether they're gonna buy or they're not, or what the objection is, right? I have been breeding horses for the last 20 years, a bunch of experiences. So I now know when I see a horse walk, what's going on. There's a show I watched recently, is a guy, I think it's called, it's like Wheel of Fortune or something, Wheels of Fortune. And the guys, they call him the engine whisperer, right? He can hear a car in a distance and tell you what's wrong with the engine. Why? Because he's been listening forever, eventually becomes his second nature gut. Now imagine if that gut reaction that you had, that gut decision, didn't take a bunch of processing power. You just knew, you could pull from it, because you know in your life, there's been a moment where you showed up to it and you're like, you know what? Something feels off. Let's talk about how to trust your gut so it doesn't bite you in the butts. Yeah, so I think this is a unique thing about all of us. We have a gut. And yes, you have your fitness-based gut of like your microbiomes, all that kind of stuff. We're not talking about that gut. I'm talking about the gut where your brain goes, something's off. Like something's not right now. We don't know what this thing is, but we can sense it and feel it. And here's what I want you to grasp. The gut actually exists, I believe, fully exists. And I want to talk today about what is your gut? Where does your gut show up? How do you refine that? Because when you get to the point of making just gut decisions, split decisions they call it, man, you could move smooth. Imagine if you could create like an amazing life by simply saying, I go with the flow, man. But your flowing decisions are great. There are people who you find and you meet that for some reason, they just happen to make these quick decisions, but they're always the right decision. Amazing choices they pull out of their butt. No, they don't. Those are coming from somewhere. They did something to refine that process to figure it out. And I want to talk to you about what it is and how it shows up. So first off, how's your gut like exist? Like what exactly is your gut, right? And here's what I want you to think about. We're going to call this, on this side, we're going to call this, what is the gut? What, right? What's your gut? We'll get a little line to separate. And here's what I think it is. Your gut is kind of like a separate, like a lower part of your brain. I don't know exactly where this resides in the brain, but I'm going to just think for a moment. It's like the bottom bucket of thoughts. What you have is, let's say it's up here. I have my conscious brain. This is my brain right here. And it's all going on, right? Well, I have an area of the brain that's like the conscious, call it conscious part. And what happens is my brain's always on and seeing things. There's always something coming in, information coming in. And what happens is as the information comes in, well, what happens is essentially like it goes in and I think about it, and I'm having it be thought processes. Eventually, it then goes down below, I believe, into a part of your your subconscious thoughts and ideas. And so over time, your experiences, which create information coming in, then go into your filter, we'll call it. Your filter would be like your gut. And what the gut essentially, for me, I believe, is it's all the collection of millions and millions of data points, of information, of the hearing a car screech to a halt, seeing somebody's eyes kind of back and forth, seeing how someone's walking in a certain alley towards you, understanding their body language, seeing how things are going to happen based on what's happened a million times. Here's an example. As they turn Hey Siri on my phone. Look at that crazy. You update stuff, they listen to you. It's listening right now. Think about a baseball player. My wife plays softball. I'm horrible at softball. Here's why I'm horrible at softball. Because what took place is I was out and I was a kid. I was playing catch and I got hit in the eye twice. 2 black eyes. I was like, I'm done with baseball. I'm not doing this anymore. And so when we go out to play softball, my wife, she was good, was really good. She would have me come play and I would go out there. I was horrible. Why? Because someone hit the ball, and when the ball's coming at me, I have no idea where it's about to go. Is it going to bounce low? Is it going to bounce high? My glove somewhere, it goes back. I got to run back, get it. I kept missing the balls. I couldn't field them, couldn't catch them. Well, why is it the little guy who's not as athletic as I am, he's killing it? Well, as a kid, his experience with baseball was he didn't get hit in the eye. So you know what he did? He kept on playing. So over time, he kept getting to the point of what we call a gut reaction. He could sense a ball come off the bat, know the ground. Is it gonna hit, you know, the distance and the speed? Is it gonna hit the grass? Is it gonna hit the turf? Is it gonna hit the dirt? Where's it gonna hit? And then based on trajectory and speed, how high is it gonna come? Is it gonna go left? Could it spin? What's going on with the ball? And they could literally like turn their body, close their eyes, throw a glove out, snatch it and go. Like, how did you do that magical thing you just did right now? Like, how in the world can I not do that and you can do it? Well, because for them, the experiences over time kept popping in over and over, repetition, and eventually their brain just knows, here's what we're gonna do. Now for you, this could come with, you know what, I've been on the phone with 1,000 people in sales conversations. I've had all these experiences, and I can sense in the voice of somebody whether they're gonna buy or they're not, or what the objection is, right? I have been breeding horses for the last 20 years, a bunch of experiences. So I now know when I see a horse walk, what's going on. There's a show I watched recently, is a guy, I think it's called, it's like Wheel of Fortune or something, Wheels of Fortune. And the guys, they call him the engine whisperer, right? He can hear a car in the distance and tell you what's wrong with the engine. Why? Because he's been listening forever, eventually becomes a second nature gut. Now imagine if that gut reaction that you had, that gut decision, didn't take a bunch of processing power. You just knew, you could pull from it, because you know in your life, there's been a moment where you showed up to it and you're like, you know what? Something feels off. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just something really feels a little bit out of whack. I can't put my finger on it. You've said this before. I can't put my finger on what that thing is, but I know it's something off. Well, what that is, I believe, it's all the little data points back there saying, hey, listen to us. We've had this happen before. Like, there's something we call a red flag, right? There's something going on right now. Hey, that person, they're a little bit, I don't know if you should trust them. They might be a little bit shady, right? The red flag comes up, and then people do one of two things. They decide or don't decide. Now, I'm gonna talk about in a second where it shows up, but this is what I believe your gut is. It's all the millions of informational points coming in that get tucked back, and they sit in the subconscious. And then when things happen consciously in life, you can pull from that. Like, you'll be able to actually, it feels funny. Something's, it's a little bit off, right? That's the gut. That's what I believe it is. Now, I say what I believe. I keep repeating that because I haven't done scientific studies on this. I'm talking from life experience and a lot of study in other areas and trying to make it make sense for you. Then we have, well, where does my gut show up, right? Where does the gut show up? Well, I believe the gut shows up in a lot of different areas, but let's just go ahead and say that it's going to show up in your health. It's going to show up in your wealth. These are the big things that matter to us, and the relationships, right? Let's just say it shows up in these areas, and it can show up in a lot of different areas, people. We're going to just say these are what we're going to look at. How does my gut show up in my life and how I do things? Well, there's going to be a part of my gut that comes with decision making for all of these. These are the important parts: our health, our physical body, our mental health, all these things, spiritual health, our wealth, career, what we're doing, what our things are we do to make money to survive in this world, and relationships. When all this stuff is good, we get to experience some amazing things relationship-wise. That's why we're on this planet. I believe we're here to have relationships. We're relationship designed humans, right? That's what we're built for. And so these are important pieces. So when I start thinking about my gut, well, the goal is to always maximize these things. And so what happens is sometimes I'll go out and I'll say I want to improve my health. Right? Well, how can you improve your health? Well, you can eat better, so you can have better food, and you can exercise. Right? Now, here's the thing. We know as human beings certain things that we should be doing and shouldn't be doing, right? You may know from the gut of you, like, you know what, this food smells funny. I don't actually do this. I don't know if Bob's right. Bob's talking about being a super vegan or a pescatarian or a vegetarian. I don't know. My gut says I shouldn't do it. Maybe your actual gut so you shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Get it? You got it. Here we go. Then you also have like the exercise part of it, right? Let's think about this. Here's one thing I think is big, and I want to focus more on exercise than food, because exercise, I think, moving, activity, calories burned, right? There's a gut that I have that I don't listen to sometimes. So I'm a former NFL linebacker. I used to run around all day long. And then I got done playing the NFL, and I started doing flag football, tore my Achilles. I started doing some compensating stuff. My knees started getting a little bit out of whack. About a month ago, not even a month, like 3 weeks ago, I went and played in a flag football tournament. And my gut was like, hey, dude, I don't know if your knees can hang up for that. And I knew it because I was out there and started feeling funny. But I pushed past it because I didn't want to listen to my gut saying, look, you know what this feels like, dude. You've had this happen a lot of times. You know there's something. Hey, Aunt, stop this. Like, well, don't do that. And I was like, no, shut up. I'm going to do my thing. And I went out and did that. My knees are killing me right now. Like, if I squat, I can hear it. You shouldn't hear yourself squat. You know what I mean? So I can hear it. Because for me, I realized, you know what, I'm just gonna go past that. But for some people, they'll be like, you know what? It feels a little bit weak. Or for me, for example, the world of what I do, based on multiple points of data from owning a gym for a long time, I can have somebody talk to me about something, and based on the information coming in, I can be like, you're telling me this is going on, but I got a feeling it might be this. Go check this thing out. Right? So movement-wise, in your health, and what I do from the past years of owning a gym, consulting for billion-dollar companies, I always was in that kind of role of just having information come in consistently about people's bodies. So then when I hear someone talk about something, I can give you some insight that you might not even realize because I've just taken the information so much over time, and lo and behold, things work. All right? Wealth. This is one that's big. When it comes to wealth, there's a few ways to build wealth. You can work, do a job, you can invest, you can do a lot of different things. I realize that the difference between making income and making wealth is investments. How can I have my money make me money? So we're gonna talk about that for a second, just as a connection dot to make this aspect of your gut make sense for you right now. So when I think about like wealth and making decisions, like I'm presented with opportunities frequently for where to invest my money. So my money can make me money, right? And when I look at different things, like you can get a job, right? And you can sit there and say, for this job, I've had a job like this, I've had a boss like this, I've been in this industry before, it's a tech company, it's a startup maybe. I got a feeling it could work and I might be able to get in ground floor and do this thing. Or someone presents you with an opportunity for a network marketing company, right? And you're like, you know what? That sounds good, but that person, my gut doesn't feel like they're a good, honest person. Let me go do some research, right? So even taking on something, your gut will tell you something you should go down a path for and then make a choice from, right? But also I think in investments, it's big. People want your money, man. People want all your money because they want money for themselves. They will tell you a lot of stuff. They will tell you how great something is, take a look at this. But the truth is, you kind of got to trust your gut. I found that there are moments, even like guys that we follow that you probably follow, like Gary Vee says at one point he could have invested in Uber. He's like, I don't want to try to invest in Uber. His gut didn't tell him to do it, so he didn't do it, right? He lost out on a bunch of money. There's another one, I think Joe DeCina, he could have invested in vitamin water and could have made from $1 million, $500 million, right? He's like, my gut didn't tell me to do it. Can't look back, but his gut made a difficult choice that he is in hindsight, not so happy with. But what are you gonna do, right? So in wealth decisions are gonna be things that are based in investment that honestly, it's not even always the investment and how it is on paper. It's you pulling information and saying, look, it looks great on paper, but this guy, the market, things I've seen, 10 years ago, I heard this before. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, right? And so some people just don't do it and miss out. But then some people do. Some people go, you know what? I got different information. I've heard it before. I saw this take place. I don't know when and where, but it feels right. It feels right. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. It feels right. I don't 100% know why. I'm like 95% there. Let's do it. And you do it, and lo and behold, something happens, right? And all of a sudden, bang, I had stock in Apple, and now I'm a multi-billionaire, right? Who knows? There's someone that did that. And so what takes place is in the wealth aspect, that's where your gut can lead to investments that grow. Trusting something you've seen in the past, or trusting yourself with the investment. Sometimes the investment is in yourself, right? In your information, your knowledge, knowing, you know what? I know all of this other stuff. If I just get this piece of information, I think I can figure it out. I think I can get that thing done, right? Trusting that gut. Relationships. The gut thing in relationships is very interesting because I think it ties a lot here. In the relationship aspect, if I trust my gut, it could be my primary, right? It could be my intimate primary relationship. It could be my friends. It could be my kids, all these kind of things. You have to, or even in clients, let's call it clients. You must fulfill people's expressed and unexpressed needs. That's how relationships grow. Can you fulfill someone's expressed and unexpressed needs? I learned that from Rich Carlson on a Credo card. That's their goal. They build great relationships with the brand for their clients because they're thinking about expressed and unexpressed needs. Well, where do unexpressed needs come from? How would I know your unexpressed need? For the client, for my children, for my friends, for my primary spousal relationship? How would you do it? Oh, well, maybe if you spent time consistently taking information about these people, and then all of a sudden something happens and you realize, you know what, my wife says that she's fine and just needs me to not talk to her and leave it alone. My gut tells me I should do that because in the past, I didn't do that and she got angry, right? I know that now. When my daughter, she's a little girl, she's not my little boys, right? When my daughter does something, I can feel like, oh, I don't know if I should say that to her, so I just don't sometimes. Or my clients, my gut tells me in sessions consistently, hey, you know what, I'm hearing this, but I don't know if that's the truth. My gut's telling me there's something a little bit deeper. Am I right? Could there be something else? Yeah, okay, I got this. Now they open up, right? So my information from past conversations has told me that there's something a little bit off about what these people are telling me. Let me poke a little bit deeper. Let me get to the source. At the source, I can provide a solution. At the source, you can provide a solution. So make sure you start picking based on the gut to ask the questions to get a little bit deeper. Then, how do we refine this, right? How do you refine your gut so it becomes this smooth machine, right? Right now, a lot of people in the beginning of life, we have like these, we call them the shotguns, right? So you have this shotgun, and then, man, I'm drawing some dope pictures. Look at that shotgun, my people. What? Beautiful shotgun, right? So some people, what they have is they go into the world and they wonder, how do I refine? If my gut is like a shotgun, putting pellets out there, I'm dropping stuff wide. And what ends up happening is you do make bad decisions, right? They say that good decisions are born from wise choices, but wise choices are born from bad decisions. I didn't butcher that. That's the truth. At the end of the day, you're shotgunning and you're making a bunch of bad choices, and that's okay. When we want to look at how we refine it, the goal is to refine this. If you can refine your gut, you can get to the point of having they call a savant nature to yourself. You just know what fashion should be. You just know the right business decisions. I bet people would call Richard Branson or Elon Musk or Warren Buffett. They're savants. No. You know what they got? Time. Time spent in something, learning, reading consistently. Bill Gates goes off and reads books once a year, just reads books. He brings a bag and kills them, right? He's getting stuff into his brain, so now it goes to the point of being his second nature, his gut. Decisions become easier. And what happens is right now, you spray the shotgun and said, you know what? I didn't hit the target. I'm going to stop shooting the gun. Oh, no. What you start doing is saying, all right, well, that was a little bit off. So you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get to the point where I have this sniper rifle, because the goal is to get to a sniper, right? To have this thing that has a little tripod. I want to have one specific ability to make a gut decision like that. One single shot. The way we do it is say, look, in the beginning, you're spraying shots, you're spraying ideas. It's a shotgun information going out. And that does happen for a lot of people. You'll put things out, but you don't stop shooting the gun. You find a way to refine over time by saying, look, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my thing. Because what I do when I take the action, guess what it does? It then gives you a new point to put into your brain. It refines the gut. It makes it smoother, quicker, cleaner, easier to understand. So when I make choices in my health, on my wealth, in my relationships, I can go back to here and take another shot. Boom, go a little bit. Okay, let's make it tighter. I keep doing it. I keep failing forward. You've heard it before, failing forwards. After a while, boom, I'm a sniper with my choices. I am sniping out ideas like second nature, no problem, because I kept taking my shot at life. If you're wondering how you get to the point of trusting your gut and being decisive and having success and being like Tom Brady and all these other people that make great choices in the moment of heat and emotion, they didn't do it the first time then. Every moment that rose, that they put themselves in front of, they took a shot. They learned. It fed the conscious brain, went to the subconscious, it ratcheted in the gut to make it sniper-like. So for you, take a shot, shoot your gun. Life is gonna allow you to take another shot at some point in time. And the more shots you take, the better they become. That's it. Take a shot. Leave your comments below. See you next time.